Hello my lovelies, today's video is a Q&A, a juicy Q&A, get to know me. I've asked you on my YouTube community tab to ask me anything, and you have definitely asked me a lot of questions, so if you want to hear answers to them, stay tuned. By the way, this is a fragrance and luxury channel. I also vlog once a week, so subscribe if you haven't already. And I've got my laptop here in front of me. The first question is, do you record in your natural voice or somehow make your voice soothing for the videos? And this one's really funny. It's like, do people really wonder that? It is my actual voice. I would say I always thought I had a weird voice. Growing up, I never realized my voice was anything special. And then since starting YouTube channel, people have been really like telling me that my voice is like ASMR and that I should do like calming videos. And it's funny because like I've always been a bit self-conscious about my voice because I speak really quietly, naturally. So when I speak quietly, then my voice is very calming. But when I have to like speak in conversations, when I'm with other people, then my voice like is not destined to be louder, so it gets more squeaky. It's weird. So I don't like that squeaky voice, but then I can't really talk like this all the time unless I'm here and I've got a nice microphone that picks up my low cadence. So I naturally just speak quietly, and I guess this is my voice. Next fragrance. Another question is, this lady Penelope is asking, I'm very impressed by your artistic camera work. How did you develop your skill in that area? Do you have any tips for your beginners? This, I would say, one, like my husband is very good at videography, so a lot of this video editing, it's him actually, so that's mostly him. I am also good at camera stuff, but I'm better at photos, so a lot of stuff I take a lot of photos for my Instagram, or I'm just a bit better at making things pretty or aesthetic or feel stuff in more of a photo form. He's better at video, so we marry the two, and I think it works great. I don't know if you agree. And tips for somebody who's beginning. Definitely learn about lighting. That is the most important thing. Lighting settings on your camera or on your phone. That makes the biggest difference with every photo you take or video. Another question is, how old were you when you moved to England? Yeah, I was 13 when I moved to England. People wonder about my accent because it's kind of all over the place. It's not actually British, but it's not exactly like, oh, you're Polish definitely, unless you've met somebody who speaks like this or similarly, then you probably would marry the two. But I developed something called limited bilingualism, and that is when you move to a new country when you're about 13. It's like a very crucial age in terms of like your mind, like your friendships, but also your language and how your language develops, and you become an adult. And yeah, because of that, I don't speak like, I speak perfect accent, but not perfect vocabulary. I don't have the perfect words in Polish. I just feel like I lack a lot, and I have to really think to speak in Polish. And in English, I don't have the perfect accent, and I also don't have the perfect vocabulary. Whereas, for example, somebody that moved here younger, like my brother, he speaks like perfect English, and it's totally fine for him. So it's one of those weird ones, but it's just me, it's who I am, so there you go. Somebody's asking, is it your husband that always shows the fabulous close-up view sprays of the bottle? Yes, he is, and actually I've seen a comment of one of you guys saying that it frustrates you that he sprays the bottles, it's such a waste. But don't worry guys, he only sprays each bottle about 3 times, he films it, and then we've got that video footage and we use it whenever I mention the fragrance. So it's not like he's spraying the fragrance 3 times every single time I mention it, because that would be a waste. Another fragrance. See, another fragrance. I'm so... What did you study? I studied French and film. So it's quite interesting because, well, fragrance is largely French. It's, you know, a lot of things that are going on, like the perfume oils, the agriculture, the perfumers are mostly French, so it kind of works. And I actually did my like A-level dissertation on agriculture and also perfume in France. So I think it kind of marries the two together. And film, so I'm doing something with filming as well, so I guess that marries very nicely.
You're using marries.
No, właśnie marries. Why am I marrying everything today? Do you and your husband want kids someday? That is, I think, a very personal question. And I'll answer it in a way that I feel comfortable. I feel like that is something that I have to figure out. I take something like that, having kids, very seriously, but it's probably my anxious brain as well. Like I overthink everything, and I just don't want to just have kids like that, or because of pressure. I just want to know 100% that I want it, and at the moment that is what I'm trying to figure out. What is your favorite calming perfume? I would say mine is probably Rehab by Initio. It's super just musky, powdery, and it's got tons of lavender, which is very calming as an oil. And I just, in general, I also have like an essential oil, lavender oil, and it's beautiful, and I find it very, very calming. I love it. So I recommend, if you suffer from stress or anxiety, it's an amazing, or just buy yourself a fragrance with loads of lavender. Ralaka, I think that's how you say it, is asking, in your last vlog, you mentioned you're thinking about moving. Are you leaving the UK or just the house you're living now? Hags. It is probably going to be a house in the UK, so we're probably going to move from this house into another house, a bigger house hopefully, just because we need a bit more space, and houses in the UK are very, very, very small. I mean, if you live in Europe, if you live in the US, you probably know, if you've ever been to England or seen any, like seen The Holiday, the movie, for example, that cottage in England, like that, it's tiny rooms basically. So yeah, that is probably it, but you never know. I think I'll never say never to moving to another country, because I've said that in the past and then I ended up living in Norway and in Paris. You just never know. So I can plan, but God can laugh. Another person is asking brand for long-lasting, good quality t-shirts and the website for used high-quality purses. I think you mentioned it a while ago. Yeah, so for t-shirts, I think I mentioned Arquette. It's a H&M group brand, but like compared to H&M, Arquette t-shirts, they wash so much better. They still are affordable. I think they're £15 a t-shirt, and the seams are just much more straight. They don't bend and twist in the wash, and they're soft after each wash. So I've had mine, and my husband also bought some t-shirts from them, so they're quite good, I would say. So I really enjoy buying from Arquette, just basics, because I'm not somebody who wears t-shirts that often, so I just need probably only one or two. And for used high quality purses, in the past I would have said maybe Vestiaire Collective, but I've seen, when I was searching for my Cartier watch, I considered going pre-loved route, so getting a used one, and I couldn't find an authentic and not fake watch on Vestiaire Collective. So that is like very scary, because it's one of those things. I really researched everything, like the dates, what stamps they put on the bezel, like different things that should be there, and I couldn't find a watch that was authentic. So I think you should be really careful about buying pre-loved luxury. One business that I trust here in the UK is Bagista. They sell pre-loved stuff, and I've actually sold stuff with them as well. They're very good, so very fast, like if you're selling or buying, and they've got a showroom in London as well, so I trust them with authentication. But if I was going to buy something from like eBay, maybe from a Japanese seller, then I would probably get it authenticated anyway. So yeah, Bagista, I would say. Fashion File in the US, I think they've got good stuff. They also are better at authenticating than a lot of other resellers in the US, but if I bought from them, I would still get something authenticated by an independent authenticator. That's like two websites, Bagista and Fashion File. What is the full reference of your lipstick? I don't know which lipstick you are talking about, but I'll go and get some of my most used ones that you might have mentioned, and I'll tell you exactly which ones I'm using. I'm back. So if I'm wearing a lipstick, it's probably one of them. The first one I'm wearing today is Valentino Rosso Valentino Matte Lipstick in 108A. And this is a nude lipstick. And for me, nudes have to be quite nude, but also have a little bit of like a salmon undertone for me to really like them. Another one that I absolutely love and wear all the time is Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. This is great because any skin tone will look amazing in this one, and there's something about this one. It's so easy to wear, and it goes with every makeup look, so I wear it quite often. You might have mentioned, because I did a reel on my Instagram with this lipstick, so maybe it was this one that you wanted to know about. This one is 400 and it's Lip Power Matte from Armani, and this red, it is so good. It's just the perfect bright red, and let me tell you, I don't really look good in red. I always struggle with red lipsticks, but this one is just amazing. And another nude Armani Lip Power 103. This is a moisturizing lip powder because they've got matte and moisturizing, and this one is a nude but a bit more of a coral pinky salmon nude. This one also goes with many looks, and that's what I look for, because there's something about it, like often blush and lipstick can clash, so I go for like really natural lips most of the time. I'll link the lipsticks down below in Sephora or somewhere where you can shop. What is the best trick to keep your relationship happy and healthy? That is like, how long is a piece of string sort of a question. I would say that it's really hard to tell in today's world like what is healthy or happy, because I think we're all sick because we're a human race and we're very faulty, and it's one of those things that we try our best, but I think there's a lot of things that we mess up all the time. But for me, like a healthy relationship, I would base that on the Bible, just because I'm a Christian. So I would say one partner, so one woman, one man, being faithful to each other, being understanding, treat others how you would want to be treated yourself. So that premise, and just being kind, understanding, and trying your best. I think that is like, as long as you want to be kind and treat the other person and with understanding, that you can figure anything out. And that's what I would say. Somebody's asking, how old are you? It's funny because I just always get surprised, because I guess like I know how old I am, and I think like people know just from looking at me, but I guess not. I'm 28 at the moment. Nearly 29 though. Next month I'll be 29. So yeah, that's my age. Elżbieta is asking, how much do you spend for perfumes monthly in 1 year approximately? Yeah, let me just get my bank statement and search and just make sure that everybody knows how much. I don't even know. And it's funny because Polish people always ask about money stuff. It is funny. It's just one of those. What I'm going to say is, like, I used to spend more, but now that I have a huge collection, I don't really spend much on perfumes, to be honest, because if I want something, I'll just sell another fragrance that I'm not using, because like honestly, how many fragrances can one woman have? So that's what I do at the moment. It's just one in, one out, more of a situation, or like swapping or giving away fragrances and just getting something. But yeah, that is my current situation. So not that much, believe it or not. If you could only have one perfume, what would you choose? It's really tough. I mean, I love so many fragrances, but it's hard. I think I would get bored really quickly if I was only to have one fragrance. So it would have to be something very interesting and different, or something maybe like Chanel Tendre, which used to be my signature fragrance, and I know for a fact that I had only that fragrance in the past and I was still fine with it. So perhaps I would just choose that one because I know that I wouldn't get tired of it. Whereas other fragrances that I might love a bit more now, I don't know. I don't have that knowledge that, you know, I might get really tired of it. So Chanel Tendre. You mentioned before you weren't doing okay. How are you now? Are you doing better? I hope everything's okay. Thank you so much for asking. I am doing much better overall, I would say, but I have my days of ups and downs. I have my moments, like yesterday evening was very tough. It was probably the toughest like anxiety situation that I had since like the full-blown panic attacks non-stop that I had for 3 days. But overall I'm managing it better, so it ebbs and flows, but overall I'm very happy to say that it's, you know, nothing lasts forever, and I'm much more positive about this now, whereas before I kind of thought this is my life, like this is so dire, I don't know what I'm going to do. Whereas now I get to function, I get to work, I get to do all the things that I love, I get to eat again and enjoy food, which all my favorite things. So I'm very happy that I'm functioning. How did you meet your man? So we met back in Poland at a summer Christian camp, and yeah, we kept in touch ever since, became friends for a long time, and then we started hanging out, and then we got married. So yeah, it just came kind of naturally. I'm very happy that my husband was my best friend first, so it kind of evolved from that, which is very nice. And it's also nice, I think, because nowadays, like if I was now looking for somebody, I think there is just it's so hard, like when you are an adult to find somebody, but when you're younger, it's so much easier, so much more natural, and there's less like lists in your head. It's not like, oh, he has to be successful, he has to drive this car, he has to do this. I was never that person that like wanted, you know, had that long list. I just wanted somebody who was kind, who I could talk to and be like very open with, somebody who was Christian, and somebody who I found attractive, obviously. So I found that, and I was like, yeah, I didn't think I would find somebody who was that great at communicating, and just we got on so well. So I sealed that deal. One more question that wasn't in this Q&A, but I get this question all the time in my videos, Instagram, everywhere, is where is this perfume shelf from? And it's from IKEA. It's just basic IKEA shelf that we got. So it's very sturdy. You can fix it to the wall, and I recommend. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A and got to know me a little bit better. If you've got any further questions, maybe drop them in the comments, and I might do another Q&A in a little bit of time. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.